What is up, people? We're back with Down the Middle podcast. I'm Ryan.
I'm Mo.
We're back with our current events video. It's our first time in a while doing this. We're just going to do it last week.
It's been a while. Yeah, we've been neglecting them, honestly.
Yeah, it's just been too much for us. Cognitive overload.
Yeah.
Every time I have to listen to Joe Biden speak.
Yeah, it was cognitive dissonance.
No, I was on vacation, so we didn't record current events.
That's why we were away for a week. So.
Yeah. But we're back with it now. So we're gonna fill you guys in everything that's happened. It's been a one of those behind the scenes weeks, kind of.
Yeah, it wasn't. Actually, it was like the perfect week for you to go on vacation because not really much has happened that is notable to really mention. Just a few things, and even the stories that we have right now, there's more like, not major events, but more so like small events here and there.
Mm-hmm. And this is all because we were prepping for the European visit, and then we had the European visit, and the stuff at home kind of took a backseat.
Yeah, exactly.
All that stuff. So just to get started with that stuff, you had the G7 meeting on Monday. You had the NATO meeting the day after. This is just President Biden meeting with the world leaders. And you had the Putin meeting. Putin v. Biden won on Wednesday. And then we covered all that stuff in our other videos. So you can go back. You can check out Biden versus Putin, a whole lot of nothing. You can check out the G7 summit. China will never be held accountable. Those are our two videos on all that. Fun stuff. Joe Biden, the meetings were weird. The G7 meeting was very strange. So, I mean, it was set up for success, and it was still kind of a failure.
Yeah, I think his best meeting was probably the summit, and there wasn't much done in that.
Yeah, really.
That
was like a weird cult fest.
Yeah, it really was.
The way that they treat this thing now, how they just come together and they just kind of like laugh at each other and stare. I don't know. And then the Putin meeting was also just, like we said, a whole lot of nothing.
Yeah, also behind closed doors, so it's not much for us to judge.
Yeah.
But I'm sure they did it on purpose too.
Putin is laughing right now. Putin's like, Joe Biden, he is so funny. He thinks he can stand up to me.
No, literally though. Like that's probably what he's going through his head.
Right at the
meeting. Yeah.
But let's get into it. What do we got first?
Okay, so we got Florida. Ron DeSantis. Ron DeSantis has been in a lot of headlines in the past week and a half. Well, week and a half. What?
Past year.
No, I was just... Okay, well, thanks a lot. Yeah, I was just about to say that. Yeah. Let alone the week and a half, like this past year, like he's doing a really huge push towards, I think, he's, starting to snowball towards the presidency. I don't know. We'll see. I
would love that.
But yeah, so Ron DeSantis just pardoned. So every single person, everyone in Florida who was arrested, fined for violating mask mandates or social distancing requirements. So anybody who's been like fined or anything like that, not abiding to any federal social distancing laws or mask mandates, they were just pardoned. So basically, Florida's just like a screw you type of thing to the coronavirus, and I guess it doesn't exist in Florida.
That's awesome. They had multiple days in a row with 0 deaths like weeks ago.
Yeah, they did.
I mean, he's very, like you say, he's just screw you COVID.
Yeah, he's totally over it. He doesn't really care anymore about it. Which is, I don't know about that. I have a different viewpoint on that, but I'm with it. I mean, great for Florida. I mean, if they're able to maintain 0 deaths per day and like for a long period of time, and then even on top of this, then I think it speaks volumes on itself.
I didn't even talk to you about this. I did see something weird. I was looking at the COVID deaths, and their peak was they had like 300 deaths a day, months ago, and then they were at 0. And there was one day recently where they reported 280 deaths
in one day.
Yeah, I think it's a typo. I think it's wrong.
Okay, might be 28 or something.
I don't know, but this is like the Google tracker, the COVID tracker on Google.
Yeah, it's usually accurate.
Yeah, I mean, there's one day it's like 005, 280, 13.
Oh, that's a little
So I don't know. We can look into it, but right. I do think I support Ron because I mean the Florida economy is booming and they have really come out on top of the virus. He's led the way on it. I mean, a lot of the things he's done are a little bit too. You could say in the past they were too open. They were like very aggressive.
Yeah, and they were in lockdown when all the other countries were. I mean, not countries, states were locked down. So they had they were kind of beating like.
They were pioneering, like.
Yeah, they were just trying to push it away.
Yeah.
I don't even know. I mean.
And I mean, for them, it worked. He had the plan to vaccinate to get all the old people out. It was like a herd immunity mindset, where it was like, let's separate the old people, and then the young people can kind of.
Which is smart. Which should have happened in a lot of states. Actually,
and it worked for them. That's why I support it. I wouldn't support it just because he was pushing against COVID.
Oh yeah,
I support it because it actually worked.
Had a plan.
He had a plan
to do so.
He had a plan. We've got more inflation. We have numbers ranging from 5 to 6.6% in inflation and in wholesale goods now for inflation. The Federal Reserve comes out and they are now stating that there is inflation, which is obvious. But for the pretty much the entirety of this administration, they said there's not going to be. We're going to spend $6 trillion, but the deficit won't increase. We're going to spend $6 trillion, but we're not going to spend $6 trillion. Inflation's not going to happen. So we're just going to blow up the currency, but no bad stuff is going to happen. And now they're coming out and saying, well, that really, we're starting to see some bad stuff going on there.
Yeah, I just don't understand, like, the people that are running this. Like, I feel like they don't even know the definition of inflation to begin with and don't realize the actions. Like, for example, like we were just talking about this off camera. Like, we're due for market correction. We were due for a market correction about a couple years ago, actually, to be honest with you. And then with this huge... with the Fed's pumping in money into the economy and market, like we're gonna. This is my opinion. I'm not a financial advisor. I just want to make that clear. But I think we're gonna get hit harder than ever in terms of because we're due for a correction to begin with, but that correction is gonna be a lot more, a lot stronger. Yeah, exactly.
Because, I mean, $6 trillion in spending that it's proposed. That's a huge amount. Like inflation naturally occurs as time progresses, but 6.6% in 6 months. That is the farthest thing from natural.
I believe it's around 3% per year.
Yeah, if even
around
that,
3.1 or something like that.
That's great.
So 6 point, that's I mean, like the percent 6.6 sounds like a small amount, but if you know anything about economics and finances, that's huge.
Yeah, I mean that's double, and it's coming from spending.
It's in half the time.
It's coming from federal spending.
Yeah,
I mean, crazy, but Yeah.
So I got Representative Massey. So he represents Kentucky.
Mm-hmm.
So there was a recent press conference. I'm not sure what the press conference was about, but the main thing that popped up was a reporter asked Representative Massey if he was vaccinated, and he just blew up on her and said, well, first of all, you can't really go around asking other people about their medical records and, vaccination, whatever. I mean, unfortunately, like in the current situation we are in this country right now, you technically, I guess, can because of what they're doing in terms of going to games or like, having to show up in different events. Now you have to prove that you are vaccinated. But to generally ask somebody if you're vaccinated or not, that goes, that's a little, like, it's like asking like me, like, oh, like, do you have gonorrhea or AIDS? You know what I'm saying? Like it crosses the line. And for some reason, not being vaccinated for COVID-19 or just the question of are you vaccinated should be crossing the line as well, but it's now more so normalized.
Yeah, because this is just this is an interview and a conversation. Like when you talk about like the baseball games, you're talking about entry into a private business's facility. So I mean, there is some kind of justification there. They can do whatever they want. But here, and this is what they do with these Congress people. The congressmen, they come up and the woman, they speak about whatever, usually the policies and stuff. But then these are the questions they get asked afterwards.
Yeah.
It's just all about vaccinations and trying to hit them. And I mean, these guys are like, I mean, I just had a 38-minute speech about that infrastructure. This is what you want to talk about. So they get snappy. So we've got the Supreme Court. So Obamacare was challenged by 17 red states about the constitutionality of Obamacare and about kind of the duration of Obamacare, if it's a good system to keep around, because they said it was going to die out. And the Supreme Court ruled in favor of Obamacare 7-2. So, I mean, obviously, we both have issues with Obamacare. I don't think it should go away. I think it should be improved, and they should make improvements to the system in place rather than eradicating the system, leaving us cut out to dry, and then trying to create a whole new thing.
Yeah.
You take like this idea of like universal health care, and then you just make it something that we can maintain and something that is sensible and efficient for us. You don't just X out and then try to put something new in.
My whole problem, there's a huge problem within Republicans on the right side where they're trying so hard to get rid of Obamacare without a fallback plan or an alternative. It's like, like I said off camera with you, like it's like, the left trying to get rid of capitalism. But they have no better alternative when spoken to about the topic. Like
they have socialism,
right? But socialism has killed so many. I'm not even getting that conversation right now. Whatever. That's you'll definitely get a video from us about socialism and capitalism and all that stuff. But with Obamacare, like right now, like I'm not saying it's great, but also at the same time, what is the alternative? It's like we said, that's what Trump did. He tried to take away Obamacare before even having his own version of healthcare, and he just kept. And every time in a press conference, he kept on diverting. It's like, we got a better system, we got a better plan. Like, but he never was able to explain on what that plan was.
Exactly, and that's something you see from Biden a lot, and you see from these politicians who, like Kamala Harris, is the best at this.
She's good.
It's like, what's the actual action? And it's like we talk about Putin does this too. It's like a diversionary method that they do. And Trump never did this, but with the healthcare replacement idea, he did this a lot, where there was no actual replacement. So, I mean, until you can propose something better, even a bad option is better than nothing.
Yeah, and something I actually want to bring up with, it's just politicians. Like, first of all, we should all know by now, politicians, there are more bad politicians than good politicians. That's what I believe. Mm-hmm. But you could see a common theme amongst politicians where they have their own unique diversion tactics. So, for example, Putin will compare. Kamala will laugh. Biden will tell you, need more time.
You say, I kill people? 12,000 people die by stairs in America. I don't kill 12,000 people.
But especially not by stairs. Like, you know what I'm saying?
That's good.
That's not bad, right? But, like, that's what I'm saying. Like, every politician has some sort of tactic to divert. I mean, that's what you have to do with press conferences. But, like, to that extent, like, where people don't even know the answers to any simple questions, that's scary.
Or if you're Joe Biden, you just growl. 120 days. I need time.
You should audition for Batman.
Right. I mean, Joe Biden should be Batman. Yeah, he could be like old Batman, like
old Batman.
Do all the time traveling.
Yeah.
I mean, that was a scary press conference. But on that Obamacare note, you had spoken to me about Texas, the wall.
Yeah, so Texas. So Governor DeSantis just released another press conference, but Florida's supporting Texas as well as Arizona in, I guess, border security. So Texas is putting $250 million of state money into. We're still not sure whether or not they're continuing Trump's wall or they're building a new wall. It would be kind of funny if there's another wall and they get to Trump's wall and he's like, well, we're gonna keep on going and then not finish what they started.
What they should do is they should have like Trump's wall, but then like behind it is a higher one, so you get over Trump's wall and then you're just like.
But you could see the high wall behind Trump's wall. Though.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh, you're saying, well, you should have the high wall before Trump's wall.
I said behind it. I just think it would be ironic.
I think it would be funny if the wall was, before Trump's wall, it'd be higher because then it'd be a second wall you wouldn't see coming.
Or just like the centimeter gap.
Yeah, that'd be crazy. Well, you could just, if there's a centimeter gap, you just hop over it had to be like, probably like 3 feet.
Well, I mean, like if Trump's wall is high enough, then like if his wall ends here, then Abbott's wall starts like a centimeter away because it can't be the same wall.
Right, but you could jump over both if they're that close though.
But if they're low enough. Trump's wall is like really high.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can't jump over that thing.
But this is completely separate from the video. But my point is though, if they're a centimeter away, it's basically one wall though.
It's basically one wall.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. The irony is that it's 1 centimeter away. Because like you can't.
It would be stupid if it was 1 centimeter.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
We're on the same page. But So Texas putting $250 million up. While Arizona, we still don't know about the numbers about how much money they're putting up, but they are helping out Texas with that, with the border security.
Because they announced that it's a threat to national security, which is true because fentanyl is up 300%. You have MS-13 members all over the place. Rapes is happening, and
they have increased in percentages too. Yeah,
I mean it's all over. So the legality of it and litigation that will come from this, we still have to wait for. If this is under Greg Abbott's domain, if he can do this, then I mean they're gonna do it, but.
Yeah, definitely gonna do it. It's just how I think.
Yeah, really, it's a crazy story. It's interesting. I have the McCloskey family, which there's a very popular image of an Black Lives Matter Antifa riot going on, and there's a white family outside of their house, and they both have guns kind of aimed at the rioters.
Everybody's seen this image.
Yeah, it's very popular. They both pled guilty to misdemeanor charges. They were fined about $3,000, and the weapons that were used in that image, they didn't shoot anybody or anything. They just kind of like, if you step on our territory, we're going to shoot you, which is completely legal. There's got to be more there. I read the article on it, and it was tough to find where these misdemeanor charges come from. But, they got charged for it. They had to forfeit the weapons.
Do you know the definition of misdemeanor?
They said that it had, like you said, it had something to do with public image. It's
public image.
It didn't seem like it fit.
But they're not a public figure, though.
I know. It didn't seem like it fit the mold for what would you call a misdemeanor,
right?
Yeah, it didn't seem like that was kind of my issue with it in general.
Yeah, I mean, it's like Ryan said, it's a very popular clip, and I've seen the clip as well. They didn't. I'm not sure if they were pointing though. They might have been. I think so. If they're pointing, it might classify as a misdemeanor. If not, then it'd be a little bit more of a gray area.
I think they were pointing.
I think they might have been pointing. But yeah, you can't really do that at pointing. If you're pointing the gun, then that's a different story. But they were on their property, and it also depends on the state, like if it's open carry or not. But I'm also not sure if open carry matters if you're on your own property.
Mm-hmm.
So that it's.
I think as long as you're licensed, it shouldn't matter if you're on your own property.
Yeah, I think so too. But I think it might have came down to the whole pointing.
Some of these blue states got some crazy laws. I don't know. Maybe the fact that they were standing outside and they were white, that's why they got charged. Maybe. I don't know where it is. So.
Yeah, I don't know. I have no idea what's. It might have been Florida actually though.
Was it? I don't know.
Might have been Florida.
They were wearing short sleeve shirts,
nice
so
and it was nice outside. So.
Yeah, they definitely like some boat owners.
They do. The guy definitely looks like
he looks like a boat owner.
Yeah,
he's got a boat named White Beth sitting in the bay right there. I could just see it.
I can see it.
Yeah. Maybe Florida, but don't quote us.
Yeah.
All right, what do you got?
I got. Oh my god. I got San Francisco.
Oh, we're gonna get into blue cities.
This is all blue cities. Oh, I mean, so far it's been red, but
yeah.
All the craps has been in blue cities. I have my own reservations about that, but so San Francisco, there was a whole clip of a thief walking into the Walgreens. I'm not sure what he was getting actually. It may have been medicine actually, but I'm not really sure. But he has a whole
Hershey bar on the way out too.
Probably, definitely. Yeah. I would like a Hershey bar.
I would grab that
right now actually. He had a whole trash bag. First of all, he came in with a bike. He has a trash bag. It's filled to the top. This trash bag. Like he's going trick or treating. He filled it up to the top, and mind you, the security guard's recording him. So I don't know. First of all, this security guard should get fired because he's not doing his job at all.
What is his job?
Like if his job description was to record anybody who's doing anything wrong, I'd sign up right now. Like what the hell? But security guard was recording. It's in the video, and then he takes his bike. He gets on his bike with the bag on top, and he rides away into the sunset with his free stuff.
It's like the Boston GTA.
Boston GTA.
Like he just doesn't care. No one can do anything. Yeah.
No, this is I don't know. How am I supposed to explain this? Like it's loads of trash, full of merchandise, free to go with no consequences.
I mean, this is just the shift. This is what happens when all the people.
Shift?
The socialist shift, yeah, the Marxist shift, just against law enforcement, against like reprimanding crime and stuff.
Yeah, it's just so weird to see. Like I would understand if the security guard wasn't really notified or something like that, or just like. The thing is, he didn't even try.
Yeah, he tried like a tiny bit to grab the bag.
Yeah, but he kind of did like.
Yeah.
I tried, So yeah, it's kind of ridiculous.
That's insane.
Yeah. On
the same note, we move from San Francisco to another amazing city in Chicago, and we talk about the mayor Lori Lightfoot, who I've spoken about a lot. She's great with her.
Yeah.
With her.
She's
hair.
your favorite, actually.
Yeah, she's my favorite.
She's your favorite.
I want her to run for president of the world. Like when we talk about Putin, I want her to replace Putin.
Run against Putin.
Yeah.
That'd be funny.
She's the only one who can do it.
Yeah.
Putin tries to put her in jail or poison her, and she just calls him a racist.
Oh.
It's like, I'm not racist for poisoning you. And she's just like, she gives him that look.
And then automatic win.
Yeah, automatic win.
Yeah.
President of Russia. She has announced that racism is a public health emergency. And so she's diverting $10 million from their COVID fund, their surplus, because all these blue states have huge COVID surpluses because they didn't spend their money on it.
Yeah, they did.
California's $15 billion. It's insane. Yeah. So she's taking $10 million from their COVID fund and reallocating it to the real public health emergency, racism in Chicago. The racism that has black on black crime higher than anywhere else in the world. That is that racist place. So, but we're going to put $10 million towards it. What that $10 million is going to do, I don't really know. Maybe buy everybody riot shields, because that's kind of what you need at this point.
Did they defund the police over there?
Oh, yeah.
They did, right?
I forget the statistics, but yeah, I had a whole thing on defunding the police, and they were definitely one of the states.
We should probably explain the increase in murder rates and assault rates and everything like that.
I mean, it's high.
And honestly, a lot of the blue states have you can see.
Oh, Chicago? So I think Chicago was somewhere in the 30% in homicides.
Increase.
Yeah, they were up a lot. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, nothing like Portland, but it was still up.
Yeah, I mean, you said also Portland officers are starting to leave Portland because they don't want to be officers in Portland.
Yeah, so the big story now is that there was a Antifa riot last year, and one of the police officers in Portland used violent force, or it doesn't even say what the force was, but he was indicted now, and their rapid response team, which is a higher epsilon of police force.
Right.
All 50 members resigned simultaneously. So Portland, Portland numbers are crazy. Homicides are up 1,600%.
Yeah.
Yeah.
1,600?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
No, your numbers are crazy in Portland.
1,600%. Not. Oh my God.
You had the autonomous zone. You had just a lot of crazy stuff going down in Portland, and all the cops. Wow. It's just gonna get worse.
I really think some crazy shit's gonna happen in Portland. Like, because one, cops are leaving, crime rates are skyrocketing.
Yeah.
And then it's just going back to like a primitive state of society where like nothing is set in stone. No nothing.
That's insane. It's insane. It's really
insane. Crazy.
And now, yeah. So that's just, I think that was yesterday that happened. Yeah.
Moving on to other insane stuff. Unvaccinated students in New Hampshire. So it was a high school. They were branded. So obviously not with like a hot iron or whatever. But
when you told me that,
yeah, I mean, that's how the article.
I was like, at this point, do I even doubt it?
Yeah, at this point, I don't even know. Like, you probably had to have a card like, "Hey, I'm unvaccinated." Probably like permanent marker, I'm unvaccinated. But they just had a marker on their. I'm sure it's a marker. That's what it looks like, I guess. But
yeah,
on their hand, and just to brand them that they're unvaccinated at prom.
Which is, it just feeds the whole thing. Like we spoke about months ago, how we could see how we were going to be diversified. We were going to be split into two by vaccinated and unvaccinated.
Yeah,
now
exactly.
you have the term branded. It's a right-leaning outlet that's using this term. Branded really isn't the right term if it's a Sharpie marker.
Right.
It's just kind of like marked.
Obviously biased.
But
branded.
But the idea is that unvaccinated equals bad, vaccinated equals good,
yeah.
Regardless of your health. Your health doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Your vaccination status matters.
Which is shocking to me.
Which is yeah.
Yeah.
So
you could be beast with 300 underlying illnesses, and as long as you have the vaccine, you're fine.
You're healthy.
You're healthy. Yeah, you're healthy, and you're not putting. It's just ridiculous.
As if we needed right now, where the numbers for obesity goes up to like 7 out of 10 American adults are obese. If this is the point where we needed to change the definition of what healthy means,
obesity is actually one of the biggest problems in America.
I guarantee
huge problems.
You look up COVID numbers. The COVID numbers for the deaths from the vaccines. They had just came out that a lot of people died who have the vaccine. It was 6,000, all of them pre-existing conditions. And obviously, our CDC studies show that 6% of people who died from COVID did not have pre-existing conditions. 94% did.
Right.
I don't know the number, but I would bet a lot of money on the fact that obesity is a huge, huge factor in that too.
Huge. Obesity is the leading factor in all the leading causes of death in America.
Yeah.
The first one is cardiovascular.
Even falling down the stairs.
Disease. Yeah.
Because you got more momentum, you got more weight, gravity hits you harder, and you just tumble.
That's honestly you're not wrong.
I'm trying to be sarcastic, but I'm making sense.
But also if you're obese, you're less likely to there's also balance.
Yeah.
Right. You can also catch yourself faster.
You have more weight actually landing on your bones. Too,
right. Yeah.
Your joints. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh my God. It ties into everything, but nobody wants to talk about it.
Nobody wants to talk about that.
It's turned into more of a accept yourself, body positivity type of thing.
Why don't they put some fat burners in the syringe when you take the vaccine?
Well, fat burners are ineffective.
They make you sweat though.
Really?
They do. Like the ones that like me and Brian used to take.
Really?
That stuff was crazy.
Oh, so you notice an actual difference in fat
your heart rate goes insane. Yeah.
Well, if increase your heart rate, then technically it would work as a fat burn.
Well, we're talking about caloric deficiting, and no, it doesn't work. It doesn't make you burn more calories.
But that would make sense, though.
But if it increases your heart rate for a little bit and it makes you sweat more, so if you're talking water weight from a weight loss perspective, it does work for that, though. Yeah. It makes you feel kind of crazy, too.
That's insane. I would never take. I haven't taken.
I experimented with them just for fun.
Yeah.
Yeah. We're getting off topic.
We've been doing this a little bit, but it's a good flow. And then along with that. Rhodes. You said Rhodes College.
Yeah,
right?
Rhodes College.
Rhodes College
Tennessee.
is
Tennessee?
I guess I'm gonna call it a fine, but they're charging.
Yeah.
Charging students that attend Rhodes College $1,500 per semester. For unvaccinated students. Mm-hmm. So if you're unvaccinated, you got to pay $1,500 to the college per semester. So that's $3,000 per school year.
Yeah.
And that's for testing purposes.
And this is in Tennessee too, which is a red state. It's crazy this is coming out there.
Very interesting.
Yeah. I wonder what will come against that.
But Rhodes College is a private university, I'm assuming?
Yeah.
And private universities are...
They can do whatever they want.
Liberal.
Yeah.
Pretty liberal.
Can do whatever they want. And on that note of doing whatever you want, it's not true that you can do whatever you want if you're a private business, because you had this case a couple years ago where there was a, I think it's Masterpiece Cakes, where the chef for that bakery did not want to make a cake for a gay couple's marriage because he's a Christian. He said this stuff doesn't go against my values, and I'm not going to make this cake. Now, just recently, a transgender wanted him to make a cake for the transgender's transition, and he said no. Now, he was fined by a judge just yesterday because of his decision to say no. And like the thing is, so where do we draw the line on this? Because the private businesses in the college sector and the educational sector, they can mandate vaccines and stuff. But this guy, he's a private business owner. You can make whatever rules you want as a private business owner, because in a capitalistic society, if you make the wrong decisions, then your consumers will leave you.
Yeah, like, so I'll advocate for private institutions. So, for example, like private colleges, like I don't agree with the whole fact that they're requiring students to have a vaccine to attend the college. But as a private institution, you do have that right to require certain things for them to attend the college. And if not, you could go to a different college. That is also your choice, right? It's your choice to go to that college, and you have to abide those rules. So same with private businesses. I'm also not saying that it's right for him to, not to refuse a service to an individual just because of being transgender. But as a private business, you do have the right to refuse service to anybody that you don't want to serve.
Yeah, and like the thing that I find to be even crazier about the juxtaposition between colleges and him is that, like, if we're going to talk about colleges, like, you made that decision to join that college years before you knew that was going to happen. Yeah. You didn't know that a vaccination thing was going to come out. You were going to have to get that.
Also true.
Now, they're finding a chef. What's easier, finding a new college or finding a new bakery? Like,
yeah, that's
the
true.
fact that there's
that's
nothing
true.
against the colleges, but there's something against the chef. And I mean, this is his private business. He's allowed to do whatever he wants. The example we came out with before was that we said if I went to a diner and someone refused a seat to an African American or any individual, then I would leave the diner.
Yeah.
Or steal
I throw my food back up.
I would steal the food, actually. And probably the utensils too.
Yeah.
Something. Actually, I don't need utensils, but I would steal something and then leave, because I don't need to
inconvenience
be in the
them. Take away their napkins.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
They got
without inconvenience the next customer. But
if you're
still going, screw you.
If they got a hot pretzel machine though, I'm taking the whole thing. I'm taking the whole thing.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, exactly. So this is what we talk about with competition in capitalism, that you need to make the right decisions because your consumers are the true ones who drive the whole thing.
And then at the end of the day, that was also our choice to leave the institution.
Yeah.
Right? So we could go somewhere else to eat.
Exactly. Yeah. There's places everywhere. The bakeries everywhere. So crazy story.
Yeah. So then my last thing. So passengers on the first fully vaccinated North American cruise test positive. So I'm not sure which. It actually says right here, Celebrity Millennium.
Yeah.
You ever heard of that one?
I had, when I researched the story. Yeah. I heard of them before that. No.
Yeah. So Celebrity Millennium cruise line. Everybody, obviously, you have to be fully vaccinated to be on that ship. So I don't know how many individuals, doesn't really say, but passengers have tested positive. But this is also not new news. It's just kind of more like a funny, not funny, COVID's not funny, but it's more like ironic story.
Very ironic, yeah.
Because it's fully vaccinated ship, and I don't know. I mean, people are testing positive for it.
Are they testing them? They must be testing them on the boat.
So I'm assuming that
when they get off,
everybody had proof of vaccination.
Yeah.
So a card.
But like, how do they know I don't know how they know they're testing positive for COVID. Is it after? Is it on the boat?
I see what you're saying. I don't think they would test on the boat,
because if they're testing on the boat, then it shows like a clear lack of faith in the system.
Exactly. Yeah. I don't think that they would.
Probably afterwards.
I think it was afterwards. Yeah.
That's crazy.
Because it would be more so that actually makes sense, because it would be more so for contact tracing purposes. So so if you do test positive after, then they have to contact where you were at, and then they would obviously contact the cruise line.
You're in the middle of the ocean, and what's the captain gonna do? Everyone on this COVID-free boat has COVID. Do we turn around? Do we keep going?
It's actually crazy.
It's pretty crazy, right? Yeah, that's an insane. We just spoken about 6,000 deaths now from vaccinated individuals. Yeah, through the coronavirus, but all pre-existing conditions. You had the Ukraine thing too.
Yes. So Ukraine. So right before the summit, so between Biden and Putin, Joe Biden canceled would be the right word, right?
No, just like delayed.
Oh, delayed. Oh, so okay.
He didn't cancel it.
So he delayed a $100 million. How'd you say it?
It was a weapon
sale.
Yeah.
Weapon sale, right, to Ukraine. And as you know from our past videos, Ukraine's been dealing with a lot of issues with Russia in terms of border and military presence, and Russia's been really, I don't know, it could be brink of war type of thing,
Yeah.
But yeah, so Biden decided to delay that deal when Ukraine needed the most.
And the thing is, like, the video that I did alone, because I had no one to do it with me, was about Biden backing down from his aggressive statements against Putin right before the face-to-face meeting.
Right.
And now you also have like the thing that could piss Putin off more than anything. You stepping on his shoes, or even saying
stepping on his toes, for sure.
Alexei Navalny is a great person. Like, even more than that would be to pay Ukraine for weapons. That would piss Putin off so much. And Joe Biden was like, "Let me wait until Thursday."
Wow, that's actually crazy.
Isn't that crazy?
That's your ally.
Yeah,
you know, we're allies to Ukraine. Like, everybody knows this.
We're gonna lose allies all over the place.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy. But on that same militaristic note, the Navy is now mandating Ibram Kendi. I've spoken to Ibram X. Kendi on here before. He's a CNN analyst. He's an author. He's a how would you say, one of the guys who's just very public. They like push the racism narrative a lot. There's a term for them, but I forget what it is. Yeah, I'll get it back to you. Okay, it'll come to me soon. But he has a book called How to Be an Anti-Racist, and this is
I think I've seen this.
Yeah, and the book is just basically like, it's saying that America is it's all critical race theory, Marxism, all that, and it's being mandated in the Navy now for everyone to read. And the Navy,
being mandated.
Yeah, the Navy admiral he had a hearing in Congress today, and basically he was saying that
whose decision is that though?
Not the Navy Congress, can make the decision.
Yeah, but not the Congress, right?
What do you mean?
So why is he going to the Congress and?
It was a hearing. They brought the admiral in. Like, Congress brought the admiral in to talk about his decision to enforce the book.
It's the admiral's decision, and the Congress are questioning at the admiral.
Exactly. Yep. Wow. And he's just basically saying America is better without racism. He's just justifying this decision. I mean, we've spoken about what the military needs to do,
right? Like,
military priorities. Are military people racist? The military is, I mean, I would say the best way to get into a colorblind mentality. Like, colorblindness exists in the military more than anywhere else. You don't care what the color of the people around you are. You just look at their merit and you look at their character. Yeah. In the military more than anywhere else. I would make that case. I would make that argument. I mean, it
doesn't even matter.
The military and preschool are the two leading places where that's the case. Mm-hmm. And Ibram Kendi's book, I mean, the stuff that this what he's written about, what it opposes.
I've seen some, yeah.
It opposes Martin Luther King. It opposes the 1964-1965 civil rights movements as just half measures. Crazy stuff. And this is being forced down. So, big shifts in the military. And my last thing is in Georgia. You had Senator Warnock and Congresswoman Stacey Abrams, who had ran for the governor of Georgia but lost, thankfully. They had come out against the voter ID law that Governor Kemp...
Interesting turn.
Yeah, Governor Kemp had imposed, because the people, conservatives and people who are big into voter integrity, they want voter ID and a safer election. So they had come out hard against it because everyone says that voter ID is racist and it marginalizes African Americans because they don't know how to get a card with their name on it. It's a weird racist thing that they're doing to stop racism. But now they've done a 180 because Georgia's lost a lot of business, and Joe Manchin is the moderate... the last moderate Democrat left besides Kristen Sinema, and he is trying to compromise with Republicans and Democrats for a lot of things, and they're trying to jump on board for that because they're starting to realize that the true way to progress is that they're going to have to compromise. Like, we spoke about how Biden's fizzling out now. He doesn't have the momentum anymore, and now he needs to compromise. So you have this. They've done a complete 180. I wonder, have you heard it? There's no coverage on that.
No, I haven't heard that.
And that's a huge thing, too. Yeah. Because how much coverage was it when they came out against it?
That's all I saw. I couldn't find any other stories.
Yeah, that's all you saw. How Georgia's racist. Boycott Georgia was the hashtag. All that stuff. I mean, $100 million is taken from
Georgia. At the end of the day, you're hurting the people of Georgia, not the policymakers.
It's $50 million to black businesses.
They really missed out so badly. It's crazy. I feel bad for them.
And that's probably because this All-Star game for MLB is very soon, too. I don't know when it is, but it's in July. Mm-hmm. So this is all starting to ramp up.
Yeah.
You know,
and
Denver.
Where they move to?
Denver.
Denver, right?
Denver's starting to go like this.
Yeah.
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 So, I mean, crazy stuff. They did that 180.
Oh man. Oh man.
So
Not much, but much at the same time.
Always a fun time with Bo Jiden and everything going down in the world. Mm-hmm. Meanwhile, the leading story is that there's no news from China.
Wow, that's so true. So like I said, bro, sleeping giant they're gonna come out of nowhere.
The silence is deafening. You have to realize that the silence is literally deafening.
Silence is a message.
Yeah,
in every aspect.
I agree with that. But I'm good.
I'm good too. Just some things to go over, some things to read about, educate yourself, and pay attention to.
Yeah, just go check out everything for yourself. Learn up. I mean, just be moderate in your research, and then let your opinions guide you after that.
Yep.
Right. So I'm good.
I'm good too.
We'll catch you guys later.
Peace.
Peace.